Start your day just right. Welcome to Mornings Together with Rob, Mon, and Bernie.
Well, good morning, everybody. Hello, and welcome to Mornings Together. It is great to be with you. Not pre-recorded this morning, so
We are
live and direct.
live and direct.
We are live.
Live, uncut. We don't have a buzzer, so who knows what will happen.
I know.
We have a gong though.
We have a gong.
We have a gong.
My wife said as I left, if it's live, Caleb, make sure you don't say anything you regret.
We do not have a bleeper.
We don't have a bleeper.
That's
We don't have a
right.
bleeper. This morning on the show, we've got Caleb Fryett with us. Good morning.
Caleb.
Thank you for having me back.
It's great to have you
Long
back.
time listener.
Your fans have missed you. There's an
100%.
applause going on.
Yeah, that's right.
See, people this morning are very excited about the fact that you're back.
Caleb Fryett.
Yeah. No, it's
It's
so
so
good.
good to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you back. This is your first experience in the Morning
It
Together
is.
studio.
Very professional setup here, Bernie.
Well, thank you.
Well
Thank
done.
you. We pride ourselves on being the younger sister twice removed of the project.
That's
project.
right.
So,
That's right.
Nice.
but it is so good to have you with us this morning on Mornings Together. So the whole point of the show is, we started in lockdown talking about how do we survive
did.
when we can't be together. Now that we can be together again, it's how do we live in a post-COVID world. But we've also evolved some new things. Like
Yeah.
on Tuesdays, we break down the Sunday messages. And Thursday, it is the field.
It's the
Feels Thursday.
Now, Caleb, you're asking a question just before as we were rolling the intro. Who's the voice? And some people might think it's you,
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it sounds like you.
but it's not.
Doesn't sound like me.
Yeah,
Paid
it
a lot of
does.
money
Who
for
is
that
that voice.
It's my friend Steve from Minneapolis.
US.
So it's a US overseas voice talent.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pulling
Who?
off a Kiwi accent.
Well, he actually went for more of the Australian
I went Aussie.
Yeah.
but went a bit Aussie on it.
It's a lot of effort when you could have just got a Kiwi.
I know, right? It's a lot of effort, but
Someone famous.
That's right.
The
we
voice
could have
will
gone.
Lots of
know.
That's right.
Instagram.
Yeah,
fans.
exactly.
Yeah.
Georgia has said good morning already, so
Morning,
she's at
Georgia.
Bethlehem Countdown.
Bethlehem Countdown.
Yeah, she's in town.
Hopefully, she's buying us some snacks to bring to us
Or
mid-show.
coffee. You can come
Coffee,
get my
yeah,
coffee
bring us
card.
Yeah,
coffee,
bring us
eh?
coffee.
There you
Georgia.
My coffee card half price. Here we
I
go.
couldn't find catering on the way up.
Yeah, it's a secret thing. We've always said you got to bring your own snacks.
That's right.
The virtual green room is very much like the real green room for us
Right.
here. So you have to bring your own stuff.
Even the hair and makeup.
I looked for hair and makeup too and couldn't find that. So sorry about that, folks.
That's all right. So Caleb, we've been wanting you on the show for a long time.
Yep,
It's been a long time since we
100%.
last talked to you. How are you
Safe.
doing?
It's been a while. I'm doing great.
Yeah. What have you been up to since we last chatted?
Well, I was thinking on the way in, when was it that we last chatted? And it was back when we were still, it must have been in lockdown still because we were doing everything
Yeah.
by
Remotely.
computer.
Yeah. by
Yeah.
computer.
Yep.
Yeah.
So nothing much though has changed for me. Still just living life.
Living the dream.
Yeah, I worked through lockdown and working still now, and
Yeah.
yeah, not much has changed.
Yeah. And your social media career.
Well, I put that on hold.
Yeah.
So
It's
the
getting
social
too
media,
big. It's
it
getting too
was.
big,
It
yep.
was just one of those. It was just blowing up,
Yeah.
and I thought, is this really what I want to be doing with my life?
Yeah.
I can't keep this up.
I couldn't keep up, and the stress was just too much. And so, when we went to alert level 2,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did my final posts and said, "Fans, this is it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So,
Ellen,
you know.
I can't come on your show.
Yeah, that's right.
and then her
Oh,
show
the
collapsed.
emails are
I
still
know.
coming
And,
through.
I know, and they
What-
wanted you
what
on the
requests?
panel
Yeah.
on the project. They wanted you on the
That's right.
panel, and
Yeah.
And you
couldn't
said
do
you've been
that.
waiting for me for a while, but
For
I
a
guess
while.
it was going to my old
Must
my
be
old PA.
to your
Yeah.
junk.
Just
Yeah.
wasn't getting through to me, yeah.
Exactly. So it's a privilege to actually have you this morning.
100%.
Will there be,
Small time
do you think
show,
there'll be a
yeah.
return to your fans, or are they going to be left in the dark?
If we end up in level 4 again,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Please,
will
Jesus.
spark
No.
my Instagram.
Yeah.
thing again.
Yeah.
Down
Kept
on
me
the
entertained.
farm.
The world hopes for once that we go back to lockdown for just a split
I
second.
know.
If
It
they
kept,
don't
it
walk
kept
out.
me entertained more than it did everybody else. So
No, it was
Love
so good. But yeah, so good to have you this morning. So it is the Feels Thursday, so we're going to get into more of a chat with Caleb later on in the show.
Yes.
You may be noticing that there's no producer Logan voice coming across
Oh,
the
that's
channels. this
right.
morning.
Yeah.
He's off walking in a bush somewhere. He might be
That's
doing
right.
some play acting again. I don't
He's
know.
totally
Just a vacant chair.
uncontactable.
Yeah.
The headphones are on the table. It's just weird to look
It's-
over
yeah.
there and
There's
not
no
see
eye-
his-
there's
There's
no
no
eyebrows.
eyebrows.
Yeah,
That's right.
eyebrows
There's no
above the
eyebrows
monitor.
or curly hair.
Yeah. He says a lot just with his eyebrows, as you
Yeah.
as you
That's
could
it.
imagine.
And you do the hey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah,
A little bit of
yeah.
taste of Logan.
That's
Yes. I just want to apologize for the technical issues we had on Tuesday morning. So we did
Yeah.
pre-record it. It was all set to go. and then for whatever reason the audio decided not to play back.
Yeah.
So the video was all there, but the audio is not. But I do believe producer Logan did get it up later on in the day, so you
Yeah,
can
he
still
was
go back and
working
watch
very
it.
hard at it.
He
yeah.
was very stressed about the
Yeah.
whole thing. But you can also listen back to the podcast version on Apple and Spotify as well if you want to
Yeah.
as well.
There
So
you go.
apologies for that. We'll get it fixed because we do have another pre-record coming up next Thursday.
That's right.
But it's going to work. We'll make
And
sure
it's
it
a
works.
beauty.
It's a beauty. You don't want to miss that one.
Yeah.
It's with Fergus Keith.
Super good.
So
Oh, man.
people are like, I don't know who that is. That's okay.
You will find out.
Find out on
Yeah, that's
Thursday.
right.
Find out next Thursday.
That's
All right, so we'll press on with today. The catch-up question, because people seem to enjoy this a lot last week, we're going to do the same catch-up question as last Thursday. What is one thing that they may not know about us,
Or want to know about
or
us.
want to know?
All the fans out there for
All the
Caleb.
fans, bit of an opportunity. What's one
This is
thing
your
you want to know?
Yeah.
Chuck your comments in the comment box on YouTube or on Facebook. We'll be able to see those. But what's one thing people also might not know about us? Monica,
You want me to kick us
I
off?
want you to kick us off this morning.
I don't know if I've ever shared this, but being from California, being from Orange County, in my Catholic school uniform, in my Vans, the
Mhm.
style has not changed, by the way.
Come on.
Wearing Vans in my Catholic school uniform.
Were you allowed to wear Vans?
Yeah, that was they were
What?
the right
The
color.
Catholics allowed you to wear Vans.
Yeah. Oh, that was
I don't
what you
believe you.
wore.
What?
And the high school that I went
She doesn't
to.
know what she was allowed to
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
She
yeah.
just did it anyway.
I did
Yeah.
what I want.
Yeah.
Lolita.
I was
That's right.
Lolita.
No,
then.
leader.
No, you had to have you could wear like you had to be blue shoes or
Okay.
whatever. But when I was in high school, we had during the summer you had different colored skirts. So
Yeah.
you had like a pink skirt or whatever. So I would have red Vans or the pink. Yeah. So that was kind
Very
of
cool.
everybody did that.
I can imagine.
So, but on the way to I went to a Catholic school that went first grade to eighth grade. So I really didn't do intermediate. But during like 6th to 8th grade, I rode every day to school on a skateboard.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
Come
I
on.
did. That's kind of what you did. So I was a skateboarder to school every day.
Wow.
Dude.
That was
And it's an all girls Catholic school.
No, it was mixed.
Oh,
Mixed.
No, yeah, I always went to
You didn't have
co-ed.
boys following you on your
Co-ed.
skateboard.
We were all on skateboards.
Did you do the
So-
Michael J. Fox thing from Back to the Future where you would get in behind the trucks
They
and
did
stuff?
all of that, but I look at that now. I'm thinking, I can't believe I did that. Like seriously,
What a
every
big
day, riding to school. But we all did that.
How long did it take you?
You know what? I think about it now. I'm thinking, what were we thinking? Because it's a good little distance. So probably, I don't even know. Probably about a half hour. Yeah.
Wow.
And you pick up, your friends you meet along the way. And
Half
we're
hour
all
skating.
Yeah.
Yeah. This
Skateboard.
is not my thing you don't know, but when I was at intermediate, of course, it was the scooter era. And
Yes.
so
Yeah.
thousands of scooters would emerge at
Yeah.
8 o'clock in the morning and just descend upon North Cross Intermediate
Yeah.
School. Bikes weren't cool. Scooters were where it's at
Yeah.
Ah,
See, that would have been cool.
back in the
Yeah.
day.
back in the day. All right, Rob.
Yeah. So I was totally into BMXing. So
All right. Yeah.
Terry Teo back in the day.
Yeah.
You only Monon's old enough to know probably. Terry Teo was on the TV in New Zealand, so I was into BMXing. But that's not the point.
Yeah.
I lived in Hamilton
What?
for 3 years of my life.
Did you as a
Dun, dun,
boy
dun.
or
As a kid.
yeah?
Oh!
And I know everyone's like, oh, why Hamilton? That's just where my folks moved to
Yeah.
get away from the troubles of life in Auckland.
They
Yeah.
went to Hamilton?
Yep.
To get away
Yeah.
from the troubles?
Yeah. I know. And you go like Hamilton's just not the place. Sorry if there's anyone from Hamilton
Yeah,
watching, but it's
sorry.
just not the
Oh!
place. You don't want to live there. It's a hole. Let's just face it. Hamilton's a hole. No one wants to live there unless you're a farmer and you can make millions of dollars on the farms. No one likes Hamilton. So I lived in Hamilton for 3 years. I've lived in 4 different cities in New Zealand: Auckland, Wellington for several years,
Yeah.
Hamilton, and now Tauranga. So I
Yeah.
lived in Hamilton.
Why
Wow.
Wellington? Because I
Uh,
know you lived there, but why?
I
why
took
were
a
you
job there as a youth pastor with Pete
Ah.
Foster.
Was he in
Yeah.
Wellington?
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
North Potty,
that's
what's
right.
called
Wow.
North Potato Baptist, but it was
Yeah.
Whitby Lakeside Baptist back then.
Whitby, yeah.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
knew
Wow.
that, but yeah.
Several years
Yeah.
in Porirua.
All right, Caleb, what about you? Something people may not know about you.
Oh, firstly, I want to know how old Rob actually is because you were talking about age.
Yeah, you're much
He's
younger than me.
young.
You're much younger than me.
Mystery
about that.
continues.
The mystery continues.
My birthday is on the 19th of this month.
I know.
Yes.
Very
My mum
rough.
was 19 when she had me. Okay, and she's 61.
How old do we? Why don't we have the people do a little guess here?
Yeah.
How old they think
How old do you think
Pastor
Rob is?
is?
Is
Do
a
it.
few of you
I'm
watching?
gonna throw 42.
It's Nearly right.
Nearly right. All right.
Yeah.
So maybe chuck some guesses up today in the comment section. How old do you think Rob is? 42 is Caleb's guess.
The younger, the better.
Well, I was
send
going to
you
say
something.
39, and then I thought that's too
I'll
close
send
to
you.
me.
I'll
so.
send you a mug.
the
The kinder you are.
kind you are.
So something you may not know about me. Well, I grew up in Tauranga and on an orchard / farm and had loads of animals. But I am petrified, absolutely petrified of big dogs.
Oh,
Are
wow.
you, Caleb? I
Yeah.
did not know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but not like big, soft, cuddly big dogs, but the ones that have
Scary.
a scary big dog,
Yeah.
big bark, rah, 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 at the
Yeah.
gate.
Yeah.
Petrified.
Oh, my
Wow.
goodness, yeah.
Absolutely
Okay.
petrified. I would throw my wife and children out before I would. Before
The dog would weave them and chase you.
So, is there a memory attached to that? Were
I
you
don't
frightened
think
as
so.
a kid?
I don't think
or...
so.
yeah.
Not that I can remember.
Yeah.
And wild cats, because funny story. Have we got time for a funny
We,
story?
Yeah,
we
go
always
for
have time
it.
for a funny
Yeah.
story.
So at our old house, we had a cat door, and we've got a cat, and
Yeah.
she came into season, so all the neighbouring
Oh,
Toms
yeah.
came around,
Yeah.
and there was a wild cat that
Yeah.
hung around.
Sure did.
In the middle of the night, we woke up with this crashing and banging, and there was this. My son Noah called it the beast, like, the biggest feral cat.
Oh.
It was clambering curtains. It was
Oh,
running
those
across.
are nasty.
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
And Vicky and I bolted up and was trying to
Yeah.
Clear that
deal with
thing.
this thing, but I stood back and Vicky
Yeah.
was in there with a towel trying to get this thing out.
Just
But
open the
what
door.
happened is the cat door had been locked, and so the cat could come in but not get back out.
Ah.
There it
And
is.
so yeah,
It
it was
couldn't get back
going crazy. So
out.
wild cats and big dogs.
Yep.
Petrified.
They reckon wildcats are one of the biggest problems in New Zealand at the moment. Like,
Wow.
hundreds and hundreds of them just live out and are killing everything.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, it's stoats. Oh, it's rats. No, it's
That's
the
feral
wildcats.
cats.
Feral
feral
cats.
Well,
Yeah.
BC has wild cats.
My mum's
Yeah, we
husband
were, yeah.
would, on the farm that they lived, he would dispose of at least 20 a month
Wow.
in traps.
Yeah.
You catch them
Wow,
in
'cause
traps
the
and
litters
dispose
are
They
of
just
them.
so
breed and
big.
breed
They
and breed.
breed.
Yeah,
they do.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
do like 10 at
Yeah.
a time
But
when
they
they're
get
That's right.
breeding.
really
They can come into
big.
season
They-
before the next lot.
But they get really big.
Yeah.
Like
This one was. It was
Yeah.
It was a beast.
bigger than
Wow.
8 rabbits.
Yeah.
most
wow.
dogs. Yeah.
Wow. Goodness.
Nasty.
That's horrific. For me, one thing you might know, when I was 14,
Mhm.
I actually flew planes for about a year and a half.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Trainee pilot.
pilot.
I was.
How'd you
Pilot.
keep that under the radar?
So
Come on.
I did a whole bunch of flying lessons. So I did about 400 hours. worth of-
Wow.
maybe not that many.
At which airport?
It was just North Shore, like Air Base, aerodrome.
The
So yeah,
North Shore Aerodrome.
I was a young kid. I got up to the point of when I was getting up to like the solar circuits and stuff like that, and that's when it started to get crazy expensive because you
Oh,
know
yeah.
pay for the hire
Yeah.
of the plane
Yeah,
and all
yeah.
that kind of jazz, and so that's when I stopped.
Oh, very cool.
But yeah,
So
and
you still have that on, like, that's private passenger. Like, that's awesome, bro.
yeah,
You
so
could- you could be
That's
there's
so
a log
cool.
book at my parents' place somewhere.
Forget
what-
the scary thing, bro. Yeah, next time you
Oh,
should
I
pilot.
think.
Well, there's
yeah.
a lot of pilots working at supermarkets at the moment, Rob. So probably not so great for the
Yeah.
minute.
Picking kiwi fruit.
I was going to be a pilot too, and so I started at Ardmore.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Awesome.
wow.
Yeah.
I didn't do any
Ardmore.
I didn't get any hours. I did the exams and had my little calculator thing.
wow.
But I failed my medical.
Ah,
I got a hole in my heart, so I couldn't fly.
Oh.
that's
So-
another thing people may not know about you.
Yeah.
now that they-
Yeah.
Hole in the heart.
Goodness,
Crazy.
that's crazy. Yeah, no, it was crazy. I think because I'm a superhero fan, I wanted to fly like Superman, and that was the closest thing I could possibly
Yeah,
get. And
for sure.
the day we did Stall's lesson, changed that. I didn't want to fly anymore because the pilot I was with is like you got these controls. If you're listening to this in the audio podcast, you can't see what I'm doing with my hands, but just imagine you're holding like a
Steering wheel.
steering wheel thing.
Yeah.
and he's like,
airplane steering wheel.
When you go into a stall, don't turn this because if you turn it, we're gonna spiral out. We're gonna die.
Yeah.
The words he said. He's like, I'm going to give you a demonstration of a stall. What he does, we go into the stall, he flips the thing as sideways. The thing just starts like spiraling out of control. I'm just
Wow.
like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It's terrifying. And he's like, that's why you don't do that.
Oh, my word.
Oh, man.
And this is like a tiny little Cessna.
Yeah.
flying it, but yeah.
I got invited to a young leader at my youth had finished his PP.
Mm.
He's like, can you come for a fly with me? And I was like, okay. You know, he's 17 and he's just like busts out now. He's an Air New Zealand pilot now, but we went out on this plane. I'm just thinking, I can't remember why the hell I trusted this 17-year-old to do this.
I know.
But I was in this tiny little low wing plane going, I don't fly much, but this is scary.
Yeah.
And, just like a plane,
Yep.
just like a car. Flew over Wellington.
Yeah.
He rang up his mate on the phone, and he's flying with one hand. He's like, Mo, come outside. And we're flying over the Hutt Valley, and he just starts doing the circle. And I'm
Yeah.
like holding on like this, looking down. It's like,
Yeah.
look up, Mo, look up. Like
Yeah.
17-year-old
Yeah.
trying to show off to his mate.
They're
Never did.
surprisingly small, eh?
Oh, they're
They're
so
so
small.
So
And
small.
if you're in one of the low wing ones with
Oh, yeah.
just the plastic
Yeah.
dome
Yeah.
thing,
Oh, yeah.
you go up on a hot day, your head cooks, man.
Yeah.
But you can get your private pilot license earlier than you can get your driver's license.
Amazing.
So you can start learning to fly plane like 13, 14.
Yeah.
And you just have to do
Stacking
the hours.
your hours up. Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you got the money and get the hours done, you could be flying a plane before you drive your car on
Yeah.
a learner's permit.
Theoretically, it's safer to fly than it is to drive.
Statistically, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Statistically, it's safer to fly planes than to drive cars.
They reckon once you know what you're doing, it's easier too.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. You can also eat a full meal while you fly a plane rather than
Yeah.
driving.
And be on your cell phone and call your mate. But
Yeah,
your
yeah,
mate
yeah,
can't do
yeah,
that
yeah,
in a car
exactly.
anymore.
No, you can't do that.
No, you can't.
I've been in a Cessna flying in the Rocky Mountains.
Oh,
Yeah, my YWAM director was a pilot, and so he would. Oh yeah, the guy, and he would get us in there, and we would fly to Grand Junction, come back. Yeah, right up-
Bit of healthy, good plane chat this
I
morning.
know, it's
That's good.
amazing.
That's good.
Yeah,
Everyone wants to be a pilot.
Everybody
Yeah.
does. Not in the current climate so much, but to have the ability to be like, I just can go fly a plane.
that's right. But it
pretty
is
It would
freaky.
be.
Yeah.
It is freaky. I think he did the little tricks and things
Oh,
like that. It's just like,
yeah.
and I look back on it now when you were talking, Rob, I was like, what were we? Oh,
Yeah.
we could have died in the mountains. Yeah.
Glad I was young.
Yeah, it's one of those things like I've been for flights with like same situation with people who've got their private pilot and they do that to you. Just like,
Yep.
Yeah.
we're gonna take the stunt plane today.
Yeah.
You're like,
Nope.
why are
What?
we taking the stunt plane today?
Love it.
All right, so there you go. So maybe if you have questions today, we've had a guest from Bethlehem Baptist
Yeah,
Church.
that's Kyle.
Oh.
There's Kyle,
Kyle.
41.
41.
Kyle's cheating. He's correct. I am 41.
Yeah.
I'm
I like-
turning 42
Kyle's
in
looked
2
on and
weeks.
foodle just to
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's be honest, who's cheating here.
He's cheating.
Kyle.
Yeah, so maybe today, maybe you want to share in the comments something that we may not know about you. Vicky, if you're watching today, give us
Yeah.
something another thing we may not know about
No,
mine.
please,
please do.
no.
Please
Yeah.
do.
No.
We do want to know some dirt.
No,
on
mother.
Caleb. Thank
No.
you, Vicky.
Oh no, the other
this
Vicky. That Vicky, but also
She won't
this
be
Oh,
watching.
Vicky,
She won't be
right.
watching.
I was making
She
Vicky.
won't be watching.
If she was,
Monica's-
if she
Yeah,
was
I
watching,
thought-
she would have commented already something about who's that hot guy, or something
Yeah.
and it's not there.
Not
so-
there.
That's right.
It's probably because you didn't reshare it on your page.
She
yet.
just
It might be because
rolled
I
her
told her I'd
eyes.
push her out to the wild dog.
Probably. Yeah, she may not comment now, but
She's
you're
probably
gonna
text me already about it.
you're gonna hear about it when you get home today.
She just rolled her eyes.
So let's chat about the wild dog thing.
All right, so we'll move on. We'll move into what a typical thing that happens on Thursday. Wouldn't be Feels Thursday
Yeah.
without.
You ain't gonna understand this flavor,
Wrong.
baby.
He's like, oh yeah.
So,
By the way, Caleb, do you like the new jingle for Flavor Rob?
Loving it.
Yeah.
love flavor. Okay, so it's coming into summer,
Yep.
It is.
and I just 2 weeks ago cleaned my barbecue.
Woohoo.
So it's
Yeah.
barbecue season.
It
Yep.
is.
But what's been all the rage for the last 3-4 years has been coal cooking, big smoke kind of cooking.
Yep.
Okay. Dan, our youth pastor at the moment, he's a smoked meat judge.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
got
wow.
the card and
So he
everything.
knows.
Wow.
Card
Yeah.
carrying judge, and we've been around to his house for a couple of times for some epic barbecues. But
Yeah.
that is the big thing at the moment. So if you can, it's not gas cooking, okay?
Yeah.
And all the South Africans are going, hallelujah, you're getting it right. Get the braai on, get the braai on, otherwise you're not cooking. Okay, so
Brian will eat at
so
12
good,
o'clock
Rob.
at night.
Cooking. Yeah.
Just do that cooking right, eh? But anyway, barbecuing over coals is the thing. Okay,
Yeah.
so if you can do it, you can set up a little fire, get some stones,
Yeah.
make a little fire, get it. Cooking over fire is the way to go. So I want to give you two little things: a barbecue rub for meat,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And the other thing is, big Texan smoke cooking is all about mopping your meat.
Yep.
All right, so you've got to
You got to
gotta baste
baby
it
the thing.
constantly,
You got to
alright.
baby
Do
it.
you know any of this, Bernie?
No, I don't. I'm
No,
learning.
neither do
I,
I. He's
learning.
Well,
He's
the thing
learning.
is,
There we go.
I'm in a situation right now where we're about to buy a new barbecue for
Ooh.
the summer,
Ooh,
and I'm just trying to decide between coals
Mm.
and gas.
Go Weber.
So maybe
just get a cheap Weber,
this
mate.
will inform my decision.
Gas?
No. Okay, It's coals, man.
Go
Coals.
Coals.
What's going on? You got to get coals going.
We'll
By the
ask
way,
him next week whether he bought gas or
yeah.
coals. I bet you he buys
Gas will be a lot quicker. and
Yes.
easier.
By the way, everybody, we have had comments coming from both Vickies that we're going to get to
Oh,
after
what?
Flavor Rob.
Oh, there we go.
So
This is
I'm
the
not
wait-
power of the internet.
we
is
wait with
fantastic.
bated
I'm not
breath.
happy.
So anyway, a good rub for meat is done because you want to push flavor in from the outside.
Yep.
Okay, and obviously you can marinate meat. So we talk
Yep.
about marinating steaks. The
Mhm.
whole point of that is there is connective tissue between the muscle and meat, which slowly breaks down, and so when you chew it, it's easier to eat. So that's the whole point of that. But a rub just infuses flavor all the way through.
Yeah.
And so a rub's obviously a dry ingredient, so you can have dried oregano, you have mustard powder, you have onion powders, garlic powders. A lot of people put chili and cayenne in those,
Mhm.
chili flakes, salts, all types of salts. So you can have chicken salt and garlic
Yeah.
salts. And so the idea is to create a mix that you love. Smoked paprika. Paprika's the thing. Like you
Yeah.
got to put paprika on it. I've never seen anyone do anything with curries, but my favorite flavor to go in beef or venison is cumin. All right. So I talked about cumin a few times. So make this mix, pat it all over your meat. You want to get a brisket, you want to get a pork belly, you want to get rumps, you want to get these kind of things. You want it sort of, if you, depending on the size of your barbecue, okay, it's going to take you a couple of hours, slow cooking, get it right. And you put it on your barbecue, and then once you feel like it's getting close to being cooked, it'll look like it's a burnt black pitch thing. You wrap it in tin foil. Okay, it just keeps the moisture, and then you put it back on the barbecue, and it keeps it warm, and it'll keep that flow going. So that's a rub. Put anything you want in there, dry ingredients. The second thing is a mop. All right, so you see them, and it's literally looks like an old school mop that they do the floor with, but they're just constantly dipping and putting this sauce or this mop over it. And it usually has a large base of vinegar of some description, and cider vinegar is the stuff.
Yeah.
So a couple of cups of cider vinegar. You want to put in there a sweetness. So you want to put in a brown sugar or maple syrup.
Yeah.
Okay. In that
With the
mix.
glazy thing.
Yeah, and that just
sticky.
makes it sticky and glazy, and oh goodness. Then you want to put things like your black peppers, your cayennes, all of these different kind of spices that you love. That is the heart of that mop. But you've
Yeah.
got to do it basically every 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So if you're not someone who's attentive to cooking, and
Yeah.
there are people like that, I just want to put it on the stove and it cooks itself. It's just not how cooking works. It's just get a life.
Yeah.
Cooking is about nurturing this
I
food
get
into
impatient of the
goodness.
drive-through lines more
Yeah.
than McDonald's.
Just jump over
How long does it take to
the
flip a patty? But this is the point of good barbecue. It's going to
Yeah.
take time. It's a great atmosphere. You get a barbecue out, you have people sitting around, you're drinking the wine, you're enjoying time together, and someone's over there fiddling and mucking around, and the smell, hallelujah.
Yep.
So summer's on its way. Get your barbecue clean, get some meat, try a rub, try a mop. You'll be happy.
Absolutely.
There you go. Thank
Yeah.
you, Flavor Rob.
Yeah, right on.
You ain't gonna understand this flavor.
That's right.
Payback.
Yes.
I'll keep Caleb away
That's
with my
right.
dog.
Now, as promised, we have had comments come through from both Vickies.
Oh, here we go.
Which
Uh-oh.
Vicky do you want to start with, Rob? We have a choice.
Well,
Should we go with Mon's mum
This is
or
our-
Kayla's
this is
wife?
our guest.
we never get to hear about Mon, so let's.
Come on.
All right.
What?
So Vicky, Mon's mum,
Yeah.
says that
mum.
you're a fierce volleyball player.
I was
Fierce.
for a long
Wow,
time.
I
Fierce.
can imagine that.
I
Like
played
a
volleyball
fierce.
for a long time. Yeah, I
And-
did. Oh
Uh-oh.
no, there's an
Uh-oh.
and.
If Mon had kept her Barbies from the 60s, she'd be rich.
Yeah, that's right.
What happened to all your Barbies?
What happened to all your
Monka?
Barbies,
I
Mon?
don't know, and I lived through my girls. We had a whole room dedicated to Barbie when they were little. It was
There you
like
go.
Barbie World.
Amazing.
I know.
Vicky is here and she's watching, so she obviously heard all your comments before, Kayla. But yes, you are a hottie. There you
Oh,
go.
isn't
bud.
she gracious?
How much-
Vicky's
how much
so
is she
lovely.
paying? How
Yeah.
much is she paying you to say that? It's terrible.
I want to know how you feel about the whole dog
Yeah,
situation.
tell us
That's
how you feel.
right.
It's only the really big ones with a vicious growl
All right.
that jump up. I mean, you've got to be scared of those, right?
Oh
You're
yeah.
not going to go cruising and go, hello.
Yeah, but I
No.
wouldn't maybe throw my kids or wife in front of them.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't either, to be fair. But
I'll tell you
very,
one-
very scary.
One family that has a really scary dog is the McCaffertys. The
Oh,
the
Oh,
McCafferty's
do
dog
they?
is like
Terrifying.
that thing will eat you.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, it attacked one of the kids recently, didn't it? Like
Did it?
They're just unpredictable, these big dogs.
Big- There it is.
where I
We
get
yeah,
scared.
I was telling Rob we by chance were there to pick up a car from my flatmate, and we pulled up. No idea that this dog was there,
And it's
and it just
huge.
erupted from the garage like it was coming out like a bear from the cave kind of
Yeah,
thing.
it's
And
about
I-
the size of a beer
Yeah.
too.
And
Exactly.
it's one of those things you approach slowly and you're like, what's this gonna be
Yeah.
Yep.
like? And then he's like crazy and
Yeah.
it's
But have you ever
terrifying.
felt real fear from a dog? That's only ever happened to me once. I remember having to
time.
go
And
to
I was inside of a car at the same
but
time. I'm
actual-
still afraid.
but like you're afraid, but like a physical reaction. I had to go to a house, to an orchard to get something because can you go and pick up Katie will be there, the big
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah.
But I've known her.
Yeah.
So I kind of get out of the car and I go, "Hi, Katie." And the way she was just looking at me,
Yeah.
I actually felt from head to toe like
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
like
I need to get out of here.
I know, but it was like real, like I'm
You
thinking,
forgot
oh,
who I
so
was.
this,
I'm dead.
this is what this feels like.
Yeah.
I literally had like a weird sensation, and I actually just backed up and got into the car. But it was the way she looked at me. I just thought,
So
Oh,
I'm not
that's
the
all right.
only one with the fear of big
no,
dogs.
but it was like a real physical reaction I had. I
Yeah.
was like, she does not know me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just went back into
Yeah.
the car.
It's
it was
be
weird.
careful if you're listening right now. Just tune out. I'm going to talk about running for a second because you don't like me talking about running
Yeah.
so much anymore. But when I was running, that would be the terrifying thing. You're running along in your own little world. I wouldn't normally use headphones
Yeah.
because of this. Is that you're running along and all of a sudden just a bark or a
Yeah.
dog will appear
Yeah.
out of
They
nowhere.
come running
That-
down the driveway.
That
yeah.
puts you from 0 to a million in like a split second.
That's why I
Nah.
don't run.
It's
Yeah.
why it's why I wear headphones though, because your reaction actually entices what goes on.
Yeah,
with the dog,
I
right?
think
Yeah.
that
And
too.
so I was helping my son deliver papers the other day, and I had my noise cancelling headphones on. I just walked up and I put the thing in. Then I just looked over and there's these two dogs. And I was just putting it in, and then I looked at them and and then they just sat there like,
Yeah.
why isn't he reacting to me?
Yeah.
You know,
Because they
but
can smell your
couldn't hear
fear.
them, first of all.
Yeah.
They can
They
smell
can
it.
smell
Yeah.
your
They
fear.
can smell fear. That's
Yeah.
true.
All right. Well, we'll press on. Thank you for
Anyway.
that, Rob.
Yeah,
That's
thank
all right.
you.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So coal or gas?
Barbecue. Coles, you got to do Coles.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a gas barbecue, boo,
Yeah.
but the reality is I'm trying hard to get to a point where I can
Yeah.
have it. I don't want to just buy cheap rubbish one. I want to
Yeah.
build something that's decent. So
And I know what you mean. I'm married to a hunter, and the way he babies venison is
come on.
like
That's
you
right.
didn't even treat our children like that.
Yeah.
It's like, hello, he talks to it, you know, and it's all this like, oh, look at that. Yeah, I'm like, okay, yeah.
And does he cook over coal or gas?
Used to, now it's gas.
Yes.
Yeah.
it is a lot easier to cook over gas, but you don't get the same results.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there is
Yeah.
atmosphere. There's a whole bunch of things
Mhm.
about coal
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right.
I got to find a picture.
I'll
for
try
Coles.
and make a decision at some point.
Yeah.
We're in a similar boat where we've got to do something for the summer as well.
Yeah. Come on,
But
build something.
to do gas. I mean to do coal.
Because it's a longer process.
See, that's what you want.
Wow.
Look at that. See?
Yeah.
Come on. Something like that. That's the dream. It's the dream.
So Robbie, it
You
sounds
gotta
like you
start
have to have
dinner
a
at
barbecue
1:00 in the afternoon.
and give these guys.
Well, you got to have a barbecue over there to roll sausages for the kids who do not appreciate whatever you do on a barbecue.
Yeah.
Roll some sausages over there on your gas barbie, but this is just like a centerpiece. You know,
Yeah.
it's like the turkey coming out of Christmas.
Absolutely.
You know?
So we have to try both options to make
Yeah.
an
All
informed
right.
decision.
Sorry,
Well,
enough banter.
no barbecue chat. All right, so we'll do some housekeeping, then we'll press on with the rest of this episode today. So if you have any stories, maybe you have some barbecue tips as well for the summer, maybe fire those through to us, stories, bethlehem.org.nz. Love hearing what's going on for you. And it's been so encouraging. I know Mon and Rob have been sharing this, like coming on Sundays and hearing people come up to them and say, hey, I really appreciate
Yeah.
what you guys do on the show. Keep feeding that back to us. Keep letting us know what it is that you want. We have told you that, we've got 18 episodes left. We're finishing at episode 100.
Yeah.
So then it may change to a different format, but who knows at this stage. So let us know your thoughts and feelings about all that. You can follow the church on social media, on Facebook and on Instagram with the tag the handle at Beth Bap Church.
Yeah.
All the updates and things that are going on in the life of the church come through there as well. If you need any kind of help during the season or even outside of the season, we have a wonderful care department that is got a huge number of people behind it, lots of volunteers involved. You can give them a call either on 075762344 or flick an email, care@bethlehem.org.nz. Eric and the team are there and ready to help you out. If you've got prayer requests or needs or praise reports, you can text them through to us. So keyword BBC prayer and then send it through their number 4040. You can also fill out a prayer card on Sunday, or there's ways to do it via the church website. But this is just a handy way if you're on the bus or somewhere and you want to fire off a prayer request, you can do it that way. You can join us this weekend in person at 9 a.m., 11 a.m. and 6:30 p.m. Here at BBC, or you can join us online on all the current platforms you're watching this show right now. So that's the church website, that's Facebook, that's YouTube, at 9 a.m. and 6:30 p.m.
And this Sunday night, we're actually doing something special. We're having a panel.
We
Yes.
are.
We're having a panel.
That's right.
2 people here are
Yeah.
going to be on the panel.
Yes,
Oh,
we are.
cool.
Just talking about the last series that we've been in. So
Yep.
come join us. You
I
can join
love
us online and
panels.
ask us some questions. That'd be
Yeah.
good.
Yes, it's going to be an interactive experience.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Getting into some of the final points of the series, things Jesus never said.
That's Yep.
That we just did. And Sunday morning, Craig's preaching.
Yep.
Craig is preaching.
Prodigal Church.
Prodigal Church.
Cool.
We're doing Prodigal Church right to the end of the year.
There you go.
1 Corinthians.
First
11.
Corinthians.
Yeah.
And so finally this morning you can listen back to the show or the other 81 episodes that are already out there on Apple and Spotify. Just search Mornings Together and you'll be able to find us, and you'll be able to join us around the virtual campfire. That is
There
always
it
warm. That is
is.
always good. The chat is always rich. Banter well.
That's right.
It's great to have you whenever it is you do listen back,
Yeah.
whether it be on the podcast, whether it be on watching YouTube and Facebook later
Yeah.
in the day. It's all around the campfire, man.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's good times.
And we're
Or
talking about-
cold burning barbecue.
Or cold
That's
burning
That's
barbecue.
right. That's
That's
right.
correct.
I think this is very much a coal burning barbecue kind of sound.
It did sound
There we
like that a
go.
little bit.
Maybe a bit of wood in there.
Put a bit of charcoal on.
It's what it is.
Is that okay?
It's
Okay.
all right.
The kids are screaming next door. And the
They
kids'
are. They're
program,
having a
That's
so
great
actually
time during the
Caleb's fans.
children's program.
That's
That's right.
they're banging
We've
on
had to
the
lock
door.
all the doors and securities out.
That's
there.
Yeah,
right.
That's what we're doing.
They're having a watch party
They're
next
chanting.
door.
That's right.
We want Caleb.
I'm
That's
out there to
right.
sign autographs.
More
Uh,
facts about Caleb.
Yeah.
So no, I don't actually know how much you guys in there can
Don't know
hear
if they
them
can hear it either.
because the nature of these mics. But yeah, the kids program is
Just
going
right there.
hard
Room
out the
Room
wall.
next
Sounds
door.
having a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
They're
They're having
so
a lot
much
of fun.
Also, your mum's just commented again.
Oh, here we go.
Oh.
Do we have
Apparently,
to read
there's
them?
a warning about playing Scrabble with Mon.
That's
incredible.
right.
Mon is super
Competitive.
competitive when playing
I
Scrabble.
can
Beware.
imagine that too.
I am.
I
I
can
am.
imagine
I'm
that.
so
One of those people who
competitive.
just gets the board.
What about Monopoly's got
Monopoly's
a bad
good.
one too, is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but like Scrabble, I'm relentless. Yeah.
Have you, do you do words with friends as well? Are you-
No, I don't.
No,
No.
Because
It's too
they can
addictive.
break up friendships. Words with
I
friends.
know.
It's like the what's the Settlers of Catan of the
Settlers.
mobile games.
I'm
Yeah.
so bad, but I can't help myself. If you're struggling trying to find a word and I see it, I'm like, okay, I can't stand it. Let's do it for you.
Yeah. Let me help you here.
And you want to get the most points, so can you just put it there? But if they have great letters and they're putting it some random, I actually can't say. I'm like, look, you can get triple score right there.
It's so obvious.
It's so obvious.
What's wrong with you?
Are you stupid?
And everybody gets so mad at me, but I'm like, I can't take it.
Vicky, thank you for all the content you bring to the
Yeah.
show
Okay,
this morning.
that's enough,
Keep
mother.
it coming.
All right, we move on. So,
Yeah.
Caleb, you're with us this morning. It's been so much fun already,
Yeah,
and
I know.
we're going to get into some questions for you. We've already asked you what you've been up to since last talk. So we won't ask that again, but people want to know your story.
Yeah,
When and how did you meet Jesus?
Here we go.
When and how did I meet
yeah.
Jesus?
We want your come to Jesus story.
Well, it's not that elaborate a story, to be honest. I would ask, have you got siblings?
Yes,
So how old are your siblings? Old or
they're
young?
both younger than me.
So if I asked you when you met your siblings,
Yeah,
what would you tell me?
well, when they were born, I guess. Really, yeah,
They're just kind of always there.
Yeah.
Mm.
Right? Like you might have an older sibling or a younger sibling,
Mm.
but your siblings are just always there unless there's a huge gap, and then you can
Yeah.
remember a whole lot more. And I think that's kind of my Jesus story. Is I was fortunate enough to be raised in a Christian home
Mhm.
with fantastic parents, and Jesus was just always part of our life, part of my life. The relationship has changed, obviously, over time, but it's just been an always there kind of thing, no different than your siblings are just always there. They've always been with you.
Yeah,
There's not a on the 11th of September 1985
Yeah.
like this, and that's awesome if that is your story.
yeah,
Mhm.
It's just not my story.
yeah.
So I couldn't definitively say I met Jesus, and there's been plenty of wow moments for me,
Mm.
but never
Well,
does that make sense?
that leads greatly into the next question, which is, what are some of the significant moments from your journey with Jesus?
And can I just say though, your mom and dad, Bob and Colleen Fryett, are two of the most genuine,
Oh yeah,
absolutely the real deal, nicest, kindest, generous, just amazing people. Both
Yeah,
of your
they're
parents
very cool
since the
parents,
day
yeah.
one. We're
Yeah.
very fortunate. Yeah.
So there's a handful of times I think that any time where I've had to face a decision, like a big decision,
Yeah.
for me, I've always believed and had a relationship with Jesus where something can, if you're seeking answers or praying about something that, like my relationship has not been where it's kind of like I think maybe
Mm-hmm.
God's telling me this. I've always believed in, like, you know that you know,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to go into any specifics this morning, but I would just encourage people that are facing maybe life-changing decisions or a change in career or whatever, that for me it's like you can be specific in your prayer requests, and God can speak to you so specifically, and that's what has been my story across the years of time and time and time and time again. It's you're at a crossroads, you pray about it, you fast, you do whatever you need to do, and then the clarity comes.
It's good.
Via scripture or through somebody says, or was it just
Or a
like
mixture.
a mixture of internal? Okay, yeah, God, yeah,
So for me, it would be internal, and then I mean, you guys are the theologians, but I'll use a fleece quite often,
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where
to confirm it.
and that's where the specifics, and it's not a, if it rains in the next 5 days, like like you want to have,
So
and that's worked for me time and time and time again, and it's just like this could not be anything other than God in this situation.
directing your path. Yeah,
It's important because there's a commitment to that in terms of when you do go through those moments to, to surrender it to the Lord. Because our human instinct just goes, what's the best thing according to me? Or how would I figure my way out of this kind of thing? And
Yeah.
so, we've talked about the fact that you got to keep posturing yourself to a place where you keep offering this type of stuff up to the Lord. And so that's what your story speaks of.
Yeah, something important about what you said though is that you're actively seeking God on something, not going, "Oh God, just tell me what to do."
Yeah.
Because that's most people's posture.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I just want to know what to do and not think for myself, or
Yeah.
seek you, or actually take some time to read back over a diary or something like that. Going, is this what God's saying to me?
yeah,
Just write it on the wall. It is an active thing, and you're connected with it.
Like a lot of people wait for the burning bush moments
Yep.
rather than the Gideon moments, which is the laying out of the fleece kind of thing. It's actually interacting with God and saying, I want you to confirm this for me.
That's right.
How would you do that?
yeah,
That story in the scriptures, by the way, is just I love that whole thing. But
yeah. Love that, Caleb, and even your obedience to do it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because that's a massive step of faith.
And I guess if it's a big decision that you're facing, why would you not?
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, why? It doesn't cost you anything
No.
to really prayerfully seek. And like, why
Absolutely.
would you
But
not?
that's the thing. Human instinct says,
And I just,
Yeah.
whatever makes sense to me, I'll do.
Yeah,
And I think you speak from this awesome story of the fact that you come into an environment where you've always known the Lord in a profound way, and that speaks into this attitude you have in terms of the way you approach big decisions like this.
yeah,
For a lot of people, it's like there's a melding of worlds of the Jesus perspective and then the world perspective, and they flip flop between the two.
yeah,
It's obvious to me from your story and what you said is that you fully embodied the acknowledgement that God is the King
Yeah.
of everything, and that it makes no sense to not offer everything up to
yeah.
Him.
Can you talk about
Well,
what that? Oh,
it's
go
a
ahead.
no-brainer.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
like really.
Yeah,
Like if we're calling ourselves Christians, why would you not?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, what does that look like to grow up in a family where God is always present? So, what's your earliest memory? Like, how did you what does that look like in the day to day, or is it church on Sunday and your involvement, or what did that look like for you guys as a family?
Probably church on Sunday.
Yeah,
Was a big part. I know at one point we were all at home. I can't remember our ages, and mum and dad were trying to rally us all to go to church. And I remember my older brother, "You guys are ramming your religion down our necks. Why do we?" But let's all go to church together. And there was times certainly where it didn't become a religious thing. There were certainly times when it just didn't work as a family, and we just didn't go.
yeah,
So I think there was never that religious aspect at home growing up. Like I never ever remember, oh no, stop, we haven't said grace, and so we, not that that's a bad thing, but it never ever crossed into religious aspect. It was always a personal relationship aspect
Yeah.
that we were encouraged in, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I
Yeah.
know.
It's
so
it's
cool.
so good. By the way, your wife's just commented again with another secret about Caleb that you like chocolate covered ginger, and that it's
Ooh.
a grim little detail about him that I still can't come to terms with 12 years on.
Chocolate
Just to
covered
break up
Yeah.
the deep chats.
So
Break up the
it's a
deep.
strategy because I know that if I have them, the
Yeah.
kids don't like them.
Ah,
It's a treat that they won't touch.
That's
It's
right.
brilliant.
Yeah.
it's
Absolutely brilliant.
to have something that's only for you.
So
Yeah.
that's a perfect segue to the next question I want to
Yeah.
ask you.
Sure.
So you're
Thanks for the segue. Vicky.
yeah,
Just-
it's
Yeah.
so you're quite the remarkable leader. You know,
Oh, thank you, Bertie.
Yeah.
no, but it comes from a perspective of
You're an
leading things
amazing
from
leader.
things like that. Like I have this treat because it sets me apart. It's
Yeah.
that kind of
I just made that up.
no, but
Yeah.
it's like it's that kind of on the fly cleverness
Yeah.
that makes you quite a significant leader. I know that was
Yeah.
a situation when you were here leading us as a team.
100%.
But I know it's obvious from the fact the way you lead your teams above and beyond and stuff like that it's the same thing, and you care about good leadership. What are some of the best leadership lessons you've learned? Not just over the last 6 months, but just the things that you hold, like when you think about your own leadership and your influence on other people,
Yeah.
things that you want to lessons
Yeah.
you hold on
Lessons you've learned. Yeah.
Okay.
to. Slash, this is a great time to plug the.
I was
Yeah.
just going to
actually.
say I'm about to plug the global leadership
Yeah,
summit
right on. Yeah.
because I think that would be my earliest exposure to leadership.
Yeah.
Is from going to GLS's for Ever in a Day and hearing these phenomenal speakers and giving testimony after testimony of
Yeah.
great leadership. So if you're leading in any way, shape, or form, make sure you're watching
Yeah.
the Global Leadership Summit coming up next week and watch past stuff, watch as much as you could possibly can. In terms of lessons, I think more recently, I would say everybody deserves a second chance.
Mhm.
And people may not agree with me on that. And often the second chances don't work out. But I think everybody deserves a second chance.
Yeah.
Everybody deserves another crack at it.
Yeah.
Big.
And if you're leading somebody that you're tearing your hair out at and there's underperformance and there's issues and there's relationship issues, it's super hard, super awkward, super difficult, but everybody deserves a second chance. And if that person that you're struggling with, if something clicks within them, they're going to be the best person that you've got
Absolutely.
on your team because they know that you've given them a second chance. You've journeyed with them
100%.
through this super difficult time. And if they come out at the other end, it's easy if you're leading people when it's easy.
Yeah.
And everybody's on team and everybody's on board and it's just high fives all around.
Yeah.
That's easy. And it's also easy to turf the ones out that kind of aren't working out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's harder to do the long haul and give the second chances. Even if it doesn't work out, you're going to come across ones that it does work out on. So I would say that that's one of the things I'm working through at the moment is second chances are okay and journey with people.
It's huge in the current climate of things. Cancel culture is
Exactly.
a huge thing in
That's
the
what I was
last couple of
thinking of
years.
too.
You have one chance, and if you make a mistake, you're out, kind of thing. And
Yeah.
because it's committing to the journey, and that journey looks different per situation, whatever the second chance needs to be, kind of
Yeah.
thing. And it's that committing is to someone else to help disciple them and lead them, whether it be in a work environment or a church environment or whatever kind of thing. It's super important. It's because it is the easiest thing to be like, you're a problem.
Yep.
We're done with you today.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of doing the long haul. And man, what a safe place you would feel. I mean, isn't that Christianity when you blow it. I think a lot of times we cancel or we remove, but to actually work through the relationship or reconciliation or whatever and restoration, that to me is gospel.
Yeah.
I think
and as long as you're not sticking your head in the sand
No,
and,
exactly.
and hiding from the
Right,
problem,
No.
and then in 12 months' time, it's just 3 times as big as
Yeah,
what it was.
exactly.
So you've still got to be dedicated to the difficult
Yeah,
conversation.
exactly.
You have to be
and step
interacting
into
with
it.
them
Yeah.
and have it ongoing and make them aware of the situation, that you're
Yeah.
presenting to them. Like, yes, I'm giving this, but there's outcomes that need to be met.
Yeah.
Leading well in those things, in those situations, is also giving them guidance.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's not just say, hey, stop doing this and do this.
And then exactly.
It's like,
yeah.
well, here's how
It's a-
I'd love to do, and
you're
I'm
walking
going
it
to
with
show
them.
you the best way of doing
Yeah.
this. And
It's the harder
important.
way.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
Oh, yeah.
Way
Yeah.
harder.
And like you said, it doesn't always work out.
Because the preference for a lot of leaders is like, okay, who's the best candidate off the shelf? Who I know that like in terms of hiring or in terms of people arriving out of certain places or other workplaces, this is the person I want to be.
Yep.
You know, and discipleship or committing to their journey of they might not be the best person right now, but if I invest in them, if I grow them, they could truly be phenomenal. Which is the way Jesus works with us.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. Like who's stellar at 19? You know what I mean? It's like it takes a journey. And I
Yeah.
think sometimes we can be really hard on, well, you're not,
Yeah.
but be able to see potential. Like when you hire, what are you looking for? What's the thing that you think, yep, even if they don't meet criteria?
It's always got to be attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
hands
Teachable
down,
spirit.
Yeah, you've got
Yeah.
to be teachable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess so often if you're looking for somebody, like if you're employing a more senior member of the team, the second chance can also come in for the team that you've already got.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because it's so easy to see the flaws in the current team
Mhm.
because you've worked with them and journeyed with them.
Yep.
But it's way more of a wild card to bring somebody else in
Yeah.
that you get an interview with for 15, 20 minutes and maybe a meal out or something, and then that's it. So it comes along the same lines, really.
Yeah.
I think the big thing about hiring, which most places don't realize, is that you only get that. You get a piece of paper that they've doctored for you to read
Yeah.
that makes them in the best light.
With references, you know that they've already jacked up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Talk to this person; they love me.
Yeah.
And then also you like you say, you got 20 minutes, an hour maximum with this person to go, is this person good enough for this job? On paper they are. The rhetoric is they were rubbish, and so we do lean into, have I known this person and their history for 5 or 6 years? And that's much easier in a church context, let alone a business context,
Oh,
because
yeah.
you are getting randoms just
You are.
turning up.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Any other big lessons that you hold on to?
It's not about yourself.
Yeah.
Like it's such a cliche thing to say, but it's just not.
It's good.
And if you can help others win, help others succeed, help others have a spring in their step on the way to work, then it's just not about you.
That's
Yeah,
you
it's
too, T. I would say when you were a leader, especially here and knowing that context, you were always the guy spurring, encouraging. Very much, you're a phenomenal leader.
No, thanks, Mom.
You are really like huge props to you. But I just thought, when you left, I was like, no, but
When
you're
it's-
an
when-
amazing leader.
Well, when you
Yeah.
come across a leader that it clearly is about them, it's just so,
It's so
unattractive.
obvious.
Yeah.
It's just like, why would you be a part of that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's like you just can pick it a mile away.
Oh, you
Yeah.
can. You really
Absolutely.
can.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Though I do have a funny story about you and leadership, Caleb.
Sure thing, Rob.
So we may or may not have been on the Caleb course together.
We were on the Caleb
Oh,
course.
wow.
It was
Yeah.
along with Sean Embling,
That's
a
right.
former a person here in the staff,
Yeah.
and we were at the end of the course,
Yeah.
and we'd gone up the front. There's about 100 people at Manurewa Baptist, and we're about to get our certificates. And there's me, Sean, and Caleb. And Caleb's making a bit of a joke, and then he drops this incredibly loud fart, and it was awful. It was,
I think it was Sean
rank.
Embling, wasn't it?
And me and Sean are trying not to laugh. It was just crazy. He goes, and every Sean could have heard that fart. And all of a sudden, me and Sean
saw the reaction.
could not stop laughing. We were just trying to collect our
Oh,
and then we
man.
rank. But there you go, there's leadership
Caleb,
lessons from Caleb.
there we go. That's
You
so
believe
funny.
it.
There you
know.
go.
Everybody believes it. They know it. That's
This
the,
is
that's the lighter
awesome.
side of leadership.
Yeah,
that's
that's
the
so
lighter side.
funny. I know.
It's good.
And he's a massive prankster.
I love it.
Oh my gosh, the massive prank.
That was the prank. Yeah, me and Sean were about to
But
receive
he's
it.
done it here even
The
on
stitch up.
staff.
Holding
It's
that part
so
in
funny.
that It had gone on for felt like 5 hours before we got up there to get the certificate.
It's true. It's true.
So, final question for you this week, Caleb. So we're at a point of the year, and I think we talked about this briefly yesterday. But as we're hitting the closing part of this year, a lot of managers, a lot of leaders, a lot of people in their teams, they're exhausted, they're tired from the constant shifting. needing to pivot. They're all hanging out for their 2-week break at Christmas kind of thing, so they hope that 2021 is going to be a reset. What would be your advice to teams and leaders as they go through this final part of the year to keep them powering through as best as they possibly can, given the situation that we are in?
I guess, I mean, I might sound uncaring, but there's so much negativity around this 2020 and COVID and lockdowns, and so many people walking around with glass half full attitudes.
Yeah.
You're right. Yep.
And like I came across it at a meeting that I was at not so long ago, and it was just like, oh, thank goodness it's Friday. Oh, the year's almost over.
Yeah.
And I was like, come on.
Yeah.
Look around the world.
Yeah.
And where New Zealand is placed right now versus the rest of the world. My brother lives in Fiji, and it is a disaster there. Vicky's sisters in Scotland, a disaster. Look at what's happening in the UK and the US. Like I just think pull your head out and be grateful for every day that you're alive, every day that you're breathing.
It's good.
And don't, I don't know. It grinds my gears.
Yeah.
And the character, like I was thinking about this after we spoke yesterday.
Yeah.
And Eeyore off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the
Winnie the
Pooh.
Pooh.
Yeah.
I know.
And I was thinking about last night. And my daughter woke up, and I was tucked into bed with her at 3:00 in the morning. And I was thinking about this question, and it was really bugging me because, like, you see it on people's faces and you hear it, and it's almost become.
It's always raining.
That's right. It's like the Eeyore mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that it's probably the thing that people think is the thing to say.
Yeah.
It's almost the on-trend thing to say of how hard it's been, and thank goodness, 2020 is coming to an end, and all of this sort of thing. And I'm just not into it.
No.
So
I agree.
So I would say, I mean, if you've had a really tough spot, then that's different.
Yeah.
Everybody goes through tough spots, but don't let it define you.
That's right.
Absolutely.
If you've lost your job through COVID, you've lost your job through COVID. Don't let it define you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another job will come along.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like if
It's great.
we talk about faith, and then COVID hits, and we're
Yeah.
like, and so I would just encourage to pull your head out, get on with it. You're still alive. You're still breathing.
Yep.
You've still got community around you. If you're attending church, like your things, be the positive influence, because it is just as contagious as the negative influence.
Absolutely. And it's choosing to see the opportunity as well. We are in a situation where we can do things that Scotland can't, UK
I
can't.
know.
What do we do with that?
Exactly.
What do we do with that?
Yeah.
Maybe we leave that as the closing
Yeah.
question to the people
Let
today.
it reverberate.
Embrace it.
Embrace it.
This is the life. This is the cards we've
Yeah.
been given. So
Yeah.
I would say
Go for it. Go to the go.
So this is where you placed me, Lord. Okay.
that's right.
Now what?
We
Yeah.
can't control it, and we talk we sing songs in church about take it all, and all this sort of stuff, and then I don't know, just
then we become
live-
Eeyores when it.
that we can become Eeyores, and I'm not standing for Eeyores in my world.
You want to be a
Come on.
Tigger.
Preach it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Preach it.
I
like
know.
it.
Yeah.
Tigger, who's so it's a beautiful day.
No Eeyores, only Tiggers,
That's
please.
right.
Eels and rabbits. Rabbits are the same.
Yeah.
Stop stealing my carrots.
So is that all right to say?
It's
No,
perfect. Awesome
it's
to say. That's-
fantastic.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
The rhetoric of the secular world and everything, all the memes are saying 2020 is a write-off. Can we restart?
Yeah.
Let's just get to 2021. Things are going to be different. The reality is it's going to be the same. If
Yeah.
you're hanging out for it to be different next year, that's you're just going to be,
Yeah.
There's a reason why they call it the new normal, because you just got to get used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get what's today. You're not going to get another 8th of
No.
October 2020 to live.
No.
So
Right.
let's live the best possible
live
8th
it.
of October.
And
that
the
you
thing
can
is,
possibly
Yeah.
live.
there is
Come on.
opportunity for everyone in this season.
Yep.
This show is an evidence of that.
Yeah.
In terms of the fact that 82 episodes have happened of this just us chatting and yarning and it influencing other people and leading them to go on to change. This only happened because of the COVID thing.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
So what are the other opportunities that you may be missing or just waiting, around the corner for you to step into?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Whether it be,
Absolutely.
it could be you taking the chance to do the thing that you've always wanted to do that you've never had a time to do.
Mm.
Maybe now's the time to do it. That's the situation for me, jumping into study.
Yep.
And,
Yeah.
maybe it's the time to heal a relationship that you've never had a chance to do. Maybe it's
That's
time
right.
to finally, follow that leading you feel the Lord's been giving you, or write that book or whatever it is, to do the thing that you've been wanting to do. It's good. There's no point wasting any more time.
That's
Yeah.
right. And if there isn't any, just take day by day. Have a good attitude every day
Yeah.
that you
Yeah.
possibly can, and don't let yourself
Exactly.
go down the rabbit warren.
Well, it's
of
about
negativity.
posturing yourself. Posture yourself to look for
Yeah.
maybe the opportunity.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't mean you're going to be happy every single day, but it's that difference of the way you look at the world a little bit.
Oh, 100%. It's like that old adage, like the seniors would use, like grandparents.
Yeah.
You got to count your blessings. But there's something to that.
Yep.
There's something to that when you start looking for the good.
It's good.
Indeed.
Well, Caleb, I'm going to ask you to pray for us to close in just
Sure
a
thing.
minute. But I just want to invite everybody back again on Tuesday for another Talk It Out Tuesday. We'll break down the Sunday sermons. But join us this weekend, if you can, in person or online, 9 a.m., 11 a.m., and 6:30 p.m. in person here at BBC.
Yep.
Or online, 9 a.m., 6:30 p.m. on all the platforms you're currently watching.
Yeah.
You can listen back to this episode as well as other ones. Search Mornings Together on Apple Podcasts,
Yep.
but also Spotify. And if you have any stories or questions, or maybe like you're going to take this as a charge for this next little season to actually do something that you've been wanting to do, write to us about it. Fire that through to us, and we'd love to support you and encourage you in that as well. Now, Vicky has sent one more thing through,
Oh, yeah.
Caleb,
Your wife, mate.
and then we'll get you to pray. She's been loving it. It's like almost like an essay.
This is so cool.
Oh, it
Caleb
is.
has a pretty cool old pipe collection. He loves a nature shot. Give him a double rainbow and he's in heaven. He doesn't shop for himself ever. You can't cook.
I can't cook. No.
He loves the black eyed peas.
All right.
Vicky gives me so much grief because when we met, there was a black eyed peas.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah,
The Where is the Love one?
Where
And
is
she
the love?
tells the kids almost every day, "This is Daddy's favorite band," but
Uh,
it's not.
You created a game called Best Voice.
I did. We should play that game on the show one day.
We
Come on,
should.
then. Come on.
Ooh.
We should invite Vicky in for her best voice.
Let's do it. And
Yes.
Vicky's a rapper. I've
Come
been
on.
on. I've been on the van with her doing
Yeah,
stuff.
Vicky
She's
can
so
rap.
much fun. Yeah.
And you can fart everywhere in public with no shame. As per Rob's story.
As,
Yeah.
See,
Caleb.
she just
right?
confirmed my story, as only a wife could.
And John Douglas has just chimed in at the very end saying,
Hey,
great
JD.
interaction motivation talk, Team Thursday. Cheers, JD.
Yeah,
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 John.
JD.
Love
High
it.
props from JD.
All right, Caleb, pray us out.
Lord, I just thank you for the 8th of October, 2020.
Yeah.
Lord, I just thank you that we don't have another day like today and whatever day it is that you might be listening to this podcast. I just thank you for today. Lord, I just thank you for the opportunities that you might present us for today. And I just pray that you would help us be the best possible us that we can be today. I thank you for the opportunities that might be around the corner for some people that are looking for extra opportunities. I just continue to pray for those people. Lord, I thank you for Monica and Bernie and Rob. Lord, I thank you for what a blessing they have been to the BBC and wider community since lockdown happened. And I just pray a blessing upon these three for today as well. I just thank you for their obedience and their faithfulness, and thank you for their commitment to you and to this church. And so I just bless them today. Thank you, Lord. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you so much for
Thank
being with
you.
us today. Thank you, Caleb, for joining us this
Thank you
morning.
for having me.
Thank you for giving us your
Yay.
time today. It's been awesome. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you next week. Take care, and we'll see you all later. Bye.
Later. Bye-bye.